Thank you.
Okay. Okay, can she be excused? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, are you guys ready with your next witness? Okay.
Sergeant Terrence Epps, Terranceepps. Afternoon. I'm employed with the City of Atlanta Police Department. I'm a police supervisor.
How long have you been in the Atlanta Police Department?
Since 2007.
And you said you are a police supervisor?
Sergeant.
Sergeant. And did you, in 2007, what was your position as a police department?
2007, I was a recruit in 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
When were you promoted to sergeant?
2020,
2020. And do you remember what month of 2020 you were promoted?
February.
February. And so on July 4th of 2020, were you a sergeant at that time?
Yes, I was.
And kind of tell us about your duties and responsibilities as a sergeant.
So at that time, I was assigned to the Zone 6 field investigation team. I was a supervisor. We were a discretionary unit. We did not answer 911 calls. We did kind of proactive policing or directed patrols or kind of like projects or stuff like that.
What is proactive policing?
So they would assign us to an area if there was an uptick in crime or if something needed to be kind of taken care of. So if citizen complaints or different things like that, crime, car break-ins, anything like that.
And you said Zone 6, was that the zone that you covered?
At the time, yes.
And what area of Atlanta County is Zone 6 in?
So it's like East Atlanta.
And what kind of gives some roads?
Boulevard, Memorial, Moreland.
Would that also include the Edgewood Avenue area?
Yes, it would.
And what shift were you working on July 4th, 2020?
So it was a detailed day that day. I was working in the evening because of the 4th of July.
And when you said the detail duty that day, what does that mean?
We were actually assigned to Edgewood, the street, the bar district, because of the 4th of July. It was anticipated that there would be a lot of
Everything okay? Sorry, she got disconnected for a second. Okay, whatever he said after Edgewood.
I was assigned to Edgewood. It's a bar district inside of the zone. They expected it to be crowded because of the 4th of July, so they had us there to kind of monitor the street and the bars.
Was anything else going on in that Edgewood area around that time, the summer of 2020?
Yes, it was the protest.
How often would there be protests in that area, the Edgewood area specifically?
Because of how close it was to the King Center, it was a lot. It was a lot of protests over in that area.
And when you say protests, are those peaceful protests?
It was both.
When you say both, what would the other?
When it was a little more rowdy, I don't know. It'd be a lot going on.
Were there any incidents of violence during that time?
Occasionally there would be. It's been a while.
Specifically on July 4th, do you recall there being any issues of violence in that area?
I do recall something happening after this incident.
And what was that occurred in Edgewood?
It was a shooting.
Was anybody injured in that?
Yes, there was.
Yes.
Do you recall what hours you were working on? I know you said it was a detail. Was it a specific time frame that you were working? Were y'all working 12 hours, 16 hours, 20-hour shifts at that time?
I'm not sure the exact hours that day.
But you were on duty that night.
Yes, I was.
At some point, did you leave the Edgewood area?
I did. I actually, our precinct, our substation was located at the Atlanta Medical Center. Being that we were on Edgewood, it was a close proximity. I actually had to go use the restroom. So I decided to go to our precinct to use the restroom. It was a safe place. And once I was leaving, heading back to Edgewood is when I saw the vehicle.
When you say you saw the vehicle, what street were you on at the time that you saw the vehicle?
I was on Boulevard at the intersection with Freedom. The vehicle actually ran the red light in front of me. It was pretty hard to do. I actually had my blue lights in a mode that they weren't flashing, but it was like a steady flash for like presence. It was just like they were just glowing. They weren't like, I wasn't trying to pull anybody over or stop anyone. They were just illuminated. So, yes, for visibility. So like I said, I was stopped at the red light, and the vehicle actually ran the red light as my light turned green in front of me going.
What, do you know what a vehicle looked like?
It was a gray SUV.
And once that vehicle blew through the light, were they speeding?
Yes, they were speeding.
What did you do when you saw that vehicle?
I actually turned and followed them. As they were running the red light in front of me, I saw that the window was broken, and I knew that I was close to the hospital, and I figured something was going on, so I just actually followed the vehicle to the hospital.
And did the vehicle, in fact, go to Atlanta Medical Center?
It did.
And what did you observe when you got there?
When I got there, I observed the driver was honking the horn frantically. They were screaming. I was using my radio to tell dispatch, and she actually was aware of the incident and told me that the car had been involved in a shooting and that they were en route there, and they were trying to get help from the Grady EMTs who were outside of the hospital.
Did you have your dash cam activated in your car?
So I did have my dash cam activated. What actually had occurred, I had driven, there's a speed on your dash cam where they activate at 60 miles per hour. I actually did not realize that I had gone 60 miles an hour on Boulevard, so my camera started recording on its own. And when I went to start the camera, I actually had inadvertently turned the camera off. Like I said, they were going faster than I thought, and I'm just behind them. So that's what happened with my dash cam, but I did have my body camera activated.
Okay. And your body cam, does that allow you to see kind of what's going on?
Yes, it does.
Your dash cam, at what point did you turn it off? At what point did you turn it off?
It was so there was a lot of movement going on with the vehicle. I was actually using my dash cam to kind of monitor the vehicle to make sure, like, to preserve the evidence and make sure everything was captured. So I got out to see what was going on, and then I looked over and I was like, I need to cut my dash camera on. So I went to do that after I had figured out what was going on.
I know you said it was the market State's exhibit number 7.
Sorry, what number was that?
7. And do you recognize State's exhibit 7?
I do.
Have you had an opportunity to review that?
I have.
And what does State's exhibit 7 contain?
It's my body cam from the incident.
And does it have some of that dash cam on there as well?
It does.
And in your review, have there been deletions or additions to that, your body cam footage as well as your dash footage?
No, ma'am.
State would ask the state number 7 to be in detail.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Submitted and published. We can publish your waivers for what you're showing for the record. So
States,
whether it's body camera or dash.
state's number 7, the body cam and dash cam of Sergeant Epps. Is there sound on your body cam?
Yes, it's audio and video.
I'm sorry.
It records audio and video.
What about your dash cam?
Yes, audio and video.
It's just not showing. Over here.
Did you come into contact with anyone, while we were trying to get our technology, while you were there at Atlanta Medical Center?
Yes, I did.
Who did you come in contact with?
The driver of the vehicle and the passenger of the vehicle.
And at what point did you come in contact with the driver of the vehicle?
So I actually waited until Grady was rendering aid, and then I attempted to get like an initial statement from the driver, trying to determine like what had happened and where it had happened, trying to establish a potential crime scene.
And were you able to get that information?
I was.
Did you know where the incident had, where the shooting had occurred?
I did. He gave me a.
And where was that?
It was in an area that was being blocked by protesters. It was on Pryor. He said near the liquor store.
And at that point, did you know what had occurred? Did you tell me what occurred?
Yes, he said he was driving and they started shooting.
Was he able to tell you who was shooting?
He actually, when he described them, he said they looked like me. And at that time, it was the protest and COVID time, and I actually wore a face mask. Like, so when he said they looked like me, he said they had masks on like me, and he was describing the people.
And were you able to determine who, if anyone, had been shot while they were over on University of Florida?
Yes, he said that it was at the time he referred to her as his old lady. It was my old lady's daughter, and he said her name, Secoriea Turner.
Did he tell you how old Secoriea was?
Yes, 8 at the time.
I'm sorry.
8.
8. All right. And when you pulled into Atlanta Medical Center, just tell us what you observed. I heard you say that there was the cars in front of you, somebody's beeping on the horn.
Yeah.
What happened?
So as he pulled in, he was honking the horn. 2 Grady EMTs, they were wearing gray, ran over. I saw the back door of the vehicle open. I saw a female Grady employee actually like reach into the vehicle, grab Secoriea Turner out, and she just ran towards the emergency room. It was another female. It was Miss Turner. I learned afterwards. She was actually in the back with her. She actually had fallen out of the vehicle as they were running off with her daughter.
Miss Turner fell out of the vehicle?
She did.
At any time, did you have an opportunity to go inside the hospital?
I did. I went inside of the hospital. I was trying to get her condition to determine which of our investigative units to start to the scene. So if based on the injuries, it determines who you call to the scene. So because of her condition and because of what medical staff had told me, I started our homicide unit.
So the information you received was that Secoriea Turner was deceased. They did not feel like they were the same.
That her injuries were very serious. They did not say that she was deceased at the beginning. They were doing everything that they could, but they used medical terms as well as some terms we use in police to describe her condition.
And based on that, you called out the homicide unit?
Correct.
Did you speak to a specific detective?
I actually don't recall which investigator I spoke, or detective or sergeant I spoke with, but I raised them. I kept updating them on the condition as they would tell me. I was in the hallway for a good little while they were attempting the measures to save her life.
You were in the hallway of the hospital while the doctors were working on Secoriea?
Correct.
Were you? in regards to Charmaine Turner, did you ever have an opportunity to speak with her at all?
I'm not Charmaine Turner. That's the mother.
The mother, yes.
I don't believe I got a chance to speak with her. It was a lot going on, and her I don't think I was able to ever get a statement from her.
When you indicated that you did.
So this on the screen is my dash camera. I believe it's going to be a possible signal. Stand by for phone.
Is that yourself that we're looking at there, Sergeant?
Yes, I'm in the pants with the black one to the far right.
And is that Mr. Omar Ivery?
Yes, it is.
Was it at that point, when was it in that moment, after that, when you were able to speak to Mr. Ivery?
Shortly after this. So what's happening is we're actually blocking the ambulance entrance to the emergency room. So I actually moved my vehicle up to allow ambulances to pass by. I didn't want to block the entrance completely. And then after that is when I spoke to Mr. Omar.
During the time that you were speaking to Mr. Ivery, can you tell me kind of what his demeanor was?
He was extremely upset. He was angry. It came off almost as like aggression, but he was just upset. There was a lot going on.
Did you find his emotional outburst common for somebody who's been driving a car while they were on who was shot and killed?
No, it was fine.
Nothing funny.
Your dash cam, I think that video was what, a minute or so long, is that correct?
I believe so, sir.
But then,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
but then your body cam kicked in, correct?
Correct.
And the state's attorney was asking you about Mr. Ivory's demeanor, correct?
Yes,
Because you did speak with him, right?
I did.
And you said that he told you, again, his old lady's daughter was shot, right?
Correct.
And you indicated that to some extent it almost appeared as aggression, correct?
Correct.
I'm sorry?
Correct.
But it was understandable aggression, correct?
Yes.
He said things like, there are 1,000 people on university with guns, right?
I'm not as sure his exact quotes, so it was captured on my body cam.
But he said there are a lot of people out there with guns, right?
Again, I'm not sure his exact quote, but he made reference to people being out there.
And he called you all basically security guards, right?
I'm not sure if he was speaking about us, but he did refer to security.
And he gave you a description, somewhat, of the people he thought were involved, correct?
Yeah, my understanding, he said he didn't know. He said they looked like me, and that was he was referring to my mask, like they were covered. He couldn't give me much, and I was trying to get height, weight. And I was asking him a lot of questions.
And he was also referring to your clothes. He said they were dressed like cops or something in black, right?
I remember him saying they look like me, so I'm not exactly. I didn't get to go into much detail about exactly my clothing, but he referred to my mask that I was wearing. They had masks on like you.
I'm sorry.
He said they had masks on.
One second, Your Honor. for you.
Any redirect?
What type of mask did you have on?
It was a one of the COVID face that it fastened around my ear. I'm trying to remember. I think it was black at the time.
Because we were in the height of COVID.
Yes,
Here and everywhere else.
100%.
And you were wearing like those paper masks.
It was a paper. I don't even want to say it may have been N95, but it was a COVID mask. I was very COVID conscious at the time, so I wore my mask. Yes.
And at that time, those masks were everywhere, right?
Yes, sir.
So people knew those. They were rather distinctive, right?
They were everywhere. When you say distinctive, what do you mean?
It's hard to miss that COVID mask, right? You can see them on your face.
Oh, yeah, you can see them on people's face. Correct.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
Okay, you can be excused. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, are you ready with your next witness?
State calls crime scene set Sharon Davis to the stand, Your Honor.
Sharon Davis, SharonDavis.
Good afternoon, Ms. Davis. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. And you?
I'm making it. Ms. Davis, how are you employed?
With the City of Atlanta
Okay.
Police Department.
All right. And can you tell me, Mr. Jury, what some of your duties are?
Well, currently I'm with code enforcement, so what they were in crime scene is to respond to scenes that are some fatal in nature, some not, and at the direction of whoever is head on the scene, they would direct me on what to do. But I respond to scenes and I collect evidence. I will collect fingerprints, which is evidence, document injuries, document defects in vehicles.
And so you said a lot. So let's break it down. So currently you work for who?
The City of Atlanta as a code enforcement officer.
Okay. And back in 2020, what who did you work with?
The City of Atlanta as a crime scene technician.
Okay. And how long have you been a crime scene tech in 2020?
In 2020, about a year.
About a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you previously told us what some of those duties. So back on July 4th of 2020, did you respond to Atlanta Medical Center?
Yes, I did.
And what was the reason for your response?
It was someone who was injured in a vehicle.
Okay. And once you respond, can you tell me to the jury what that scene was like?
Crazy.
Okay. And when you say crazy, tell me more.
It was just the sight of it. It was alarming.
It was alarming.
Yes.
Were there multiple people outside?
Yes.
Okay. Did you by any chance happen to see a vehicle in the emergency department?
Yes, in the driveway.
All right. And once you arrived, what did you do next?
I got out. I went to the officer who raised me
Okay.
to get information as to what was going on. I walked around the vehicle to get direction, just to get an understanding of what I would be looking for. So I walked around the vehicle.
And do you remember who that officer was that raised you?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Okay. And what is the address of the Atlanta Medical Center, if you remember?
I don't know the numerics, but it's on Boulevard.
It's on Boulevard?
Yes, it is.
Okay. raised. What does that mean?
We get our calls from the radio, so someone will call for a crime scene. It's a term called raise. So on your radio, they raise crime scene.
Okay. And what shift were you working on that day?
I was on evening watch.
Okay. Permission to approach her? I am going to approach you with what has been pre-labeled as State's Exhibit 8 through 29. Can you take a moment to look through those photos and tell me if you recognize those photos?
Yes, I do.
All right, and how do you recognize those photos?
That was from the crime scene.
And are those photos a fair and accurate depiction of the photos you took once you responded to Atlanta Medical Center?
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, at this time, State 10 to States 8 through 29.
No objection, Your Honor.
So we're going to start with State's Exhibit 8. Ms. Davis, can you tell the members of the jury what State's Exhibit 8 is?
It is it's a Jeep, a gray in color Jeep that was parked in the driveway in front of the medical center.
Okay. Now, State's Exhibit 9, is that just a close-up view of State's Exhibit 8?
It is the overall rear of the vehicle.
Okay. Now, State's Exhibit 10, what are we looking at here?
Overall front of vehicle.
Okay. All right. Now, State's Exhibit 11, what are we looking at here?
That's overall driver's side.
Okay. Well, let's go to State's Exhibit 12. All right. Now, let's talk about State's Exhibit 12. which side of the car is shown on State's Exhibit 12?
The drivers.
The driver's side, and was there anything significant about the driver's side of the car that made you take this photo?
It's the overall rear driver's side, so just trying to get both sides because I couldn't stand straight on.
Okay. And now State's Exhibit 13. What are we looking at on State's Exhibit 13?
The defects in the door, the driver's door.
All right. So if you can tap the screen for me, and where you see the first defect, can you mark it A?
I forgot how that works, sorry.
Great, you beat me to my next question. So my next one was, is there another defect? It would be B. You've already marked it.
Oh, okay, sorry, yes.
So how many defects have you labeled?
2.
All right, let's go to the next one. Now, tap the screen. You want to erase that for me? Let's go back. So for State's Exhibit 14, would that be the same panel or a close-up of?
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is leaving the witness.
What are we looking at here, Ms. Davis?
It is what's referred to as a mid-range.
Okay.
So it's a mid-range of the defect.
Okay. And is that defect A or B?
A.
What are we looking at here?
A mid-range of defect B.
Okay. Now, what are we looking at here?
The rear driver's side, so it's a focus on the rear driver's door.
Okay. And do we still see the defects from the driver's door and now the back passenger door?
Yes,
Okay. And what about that window?
it was shattered.
Okay. And are there any defects on the back panel?
Yes, there is.
Now, what are we looking at here?
This is a mid-range of those defects.
Okay. Can you please mark the defects that you see on the screen? It should be C and D.
I'm sorry, okay.
And then, do you see another defect? So in total, how many defects have you noted so far?
3.
Okay. And then,
Well,
let's add
I'm
the
sorry,
A
oh
and
yeah,
B.
okay, I'm sorry, 5.
Do you want to tap the screen? Erase it. What are we looking at here?
A close-up of the defect.
And which defect would that be?
That's on the top handle of the rear driver's door.
Okay. And would that be defect D that you previously labeled?
Can you zoom back out? Yes.
So now, what are we looking at here?
That's overall of E.
And was there something that you noted at the bottom of the vehicle? Was there a defect at the bottom of the vehicle?
Objection, Your Honor. I think he's got a direct objection somewhere. He's got that. I'll allow it.
Other than the flat tire?
No.
No.
Okay.
Whatever's down there, I can't really see.
Okay. We'll go back. So, right here, would you agree that we're looking at 3 defects?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Plus a shattered window.
Yes.
Okay. And what side of the car is this?
The driver's side.
What is State's Exhibit 20?
It is a defect in the rear.
The
The rear driver's side.
Thank you. What is State's Exhibit 21?
A mid-range of the defect on the rear driver's side.
State's Exhibit 22.
That is a close-up of a defect on the rear tail light.
Okay. And which
Driver's
side?
side. Driver's side.
Driver's side. State's Exhibit 23.
Overall of the front driver's side. Interior overall front driver's side.
Okay. And if you can tell me, was that passenger window up or down?
The passenger window?
Yes.
I don't recall.
Okay.
It looks like it's up, but I don't recall from that night.
That's fine. Thank you. But these are true and accurate depiction of the photos that you took on that.
Yes, they are.
Now, what are we looking at on State's Exhibit 24?
The defects on the rear interior driver's door.
Rear interior driver's door. Would that be the driver's door behind the driver? Door behind the driver?
The rear interior rear driver's door, so the door behind the first door.
Got it. The driver's door?
The driver's door, yes. Yes, I'm trying to say passenger. I'm nervous. I'm sorry.
And how many defects do you notice?
3.
For State's Exhibit 25, what are we looking at?
The rear interior passenger side.
Okay. And why did you
Excuse me, driver's side.
driver's side? And why did you take this photo?
Well, when you photograph vehicles, you always do all 4 sides of the exterior, and you do interior from each door. Driver, front, rear, passenger, and then to the front passenger seat.
Okay. Did you know, or did you learn whose purse that was?
I did not.
Okay. What about the cell phone?
No one told me. I was unaware of who it belonged to.
Okay. What about the bullet?
It was from the deceased victim.
Now, which side of the car are we looking at here?
Passenger.
Okay. Now, on the passenger side, did you know any defects to the passenger side?
No.
Okay. So you said no?
No,
Okay.
other than that tire.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Other than
so,
the tire, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, for example, would you agree that based off of the defects, where were all of the defects that you noted?
On the driver's side.
On the driver's side. And those defects, what are they consistent with? If you know.
Well, they're consistent with shell casings, which cause the defects. So, from shell casings.
From shell casings. And where do shell casings come from?
A firearm.
Firearm. And State's Exhibit 27, what are we looking at here?
Just the front passenger side.
And State's Exhibit 28.
That was the little girl.
Okay. And when did you take this photo?
When I was asked to go inside of the hospital room.
And then State's Exhibit 29.
That's a close-up of her face.
Okay. So, based off of all of the photos that you took, were there any defects on the passenger side of the car?
No, not to my recollection, no.
And where were all of the defects?
On the driver's side.
CST Davis. Did you learn who was sitting in the back passenger of the vehicle?
The little girl.
I'm sorry?
The little girl.
And did you learn that little girl's name?
Secoriea.
What her last name is Turner?
Secoriea Turner.
And based off of your photos, is that where the bullet defects were?
The rear door, yes, the rear driver's door.
Okay.
Will you repeat that for her? Sorry.
The rear driver's door.
I have no other questions for you.
Okay, thank you.
Cross-examination?
Good afternoon. And you mentioned that you were a crime scene tag. How long did you do that?
From 2019 until 2024. July 1st of 2024, so I've been with code enforcement for 1 year. Thank you.
And you mentioned being raised by an officer. Do you know?
No, I'm raised by The radio. So radio raises crime scene. I answer, and then someone starts talking, and that someone is who is already on the scene, and it was that officer.
So do you ever meet with that officer?
Yes.
Okay. And how is that officer involved in the picture that you take?
He's not involved at all.
Okay. So the pictures that you take are based on just your responsibility to collect the information, correct?
Correct.
So you don't have any knowledge of what previously transpired when you take pictures at various scenes?
Well, I have to have an update so that I know what I'm photographing. If I don't get a briefing, then I could just start photographing the street, which has nothing to do with the scene.
Okay. So in terms of the briefing that you get, you don't talk to witnesses?
No, I do not.
Okay. And so in this situation, you went to the hospital to take pictures and you were told that you need to take pictures of the vehicle.
Correct.
Do you modify the vehicle at all when you take pictures?
Modify how?
Do you adjust anything to get the pictures that you take? Do you open doors? Do you
You do
move
not,
around?
no, you don't touch anything on a vehicle. And this vehicle, when I arrived at Atlanta Medical Center, it did not, there was no search warrant. So the way it was, and I believe the only door that was open was the rear passenger door. So I do open the doors just to photograph the inside, but after that, I do not touch anything else.
Okay. And this may be a strange question, but you've never seen this vehicle before that day, correct?
I've never, well, it's a lot of those on the street, but I don't know if it was that one that I've seen, but that was my first encounter on that day with this vehicle, with this sad scene.
Yes, ma'am. And in terms of any damages that may have been pre-existing, you wouldn't know what those were.
No, I would not.
So you said you had to have a briefing to know what to take pictures of. So when you got to the scene, you were told to take pictures of the vehicle, but was that the extent of what you knew, that something had happened in this vehicle?
No one has to tell me to take pictures. That's what I do as a crime scene technician. So again, they're just giving you a short story as to what they know to have happened, and then I start working as a crime scene technician, documenting the scene via photographs.
I appreciate that, thank you. And in terms of how many pictures you're supposed to take, do you make that determination?
Yes, I make that determination.
Okay. And when do you know that you've taken enough pictures?
You never take enough pictures.
That is a fair assessment. And so you mentioned mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean, mid-range?
Mid-range is so the overall is to show relation to where something happened. So if something happened up here, I would do an overall from back here. So whoever's looking at the photo can say that happened in that vicinity. Then I go a little closer in a mid-range to pick up something, the item of evidence plus an object that was already there. So it would get this and that, and then you could see it in the overall. Then you see this in the mid-range. Then when I do the close-up, it's just that item.
Okay. And so with regards to the pictures that you're taking, you don't know necessarily which defect is first, second, or third, or anything like that?
I do not. Just in the normal, like, because the driver's door is first, that's for my logic. So I'm starting that way. I don't know what happened first.
Yes.
Recognize that picture?
Yes.
How do you recognize that picture?
I can see the part of the hospital wall.
Have you seen that picture before?
Yes.
Can you remember when you've seen that picture before?
Well, I took it, but I don't remember when I saw. And then when I come back to the office, I have to download these photos, and I sit there and I have to describe every photo. So I'm reliving the scene again, and now I'm reliving it again today. So, but when I took it, and then when I got back to the office and I downloaded the photos and I started describing what I took pictures of.
And you said describe the photos. Where do you describe them? What do you do once you get back to the office and download them?
Into Mark 43, so we download the photos into evidence.com, and then I do a report on Mark 43.
And then what happens with those pictures once you finish with describing them and do your report?
Well, they're saved on a disc and with the report, and it's sent to the photo lab.
Okay. And do you ever have any, I guess, incident to see them again once they go to the photo lab?
Yes, like right now.
That's fair, but before now and after after they go to the photo lab, do you compile them at all, or once you send them to the photo lab, that you're done?
Yes.
Okay. And so you said you know that picture to be a picture that you've taken. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of a picture that you've taken?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to move to enter Defense Exhibit 2.
Any objection to Defense Exhibit 2?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted and you can publish.
Can you tell us, is this the picture that you're looking at right now?
No.
The picture
I don't think so. This looks zoomed in a little more.
out. The picture on the screen is zoomed in a little bit.
Yes.
Let me see if I can make it smaller. Does that look about the size of the picture you're looking at?
No.
Smaller?
Smaller. It's picking up at the top headlight to the bottom. The top brake light.
So, the picture that you're looking at,
Mm-hmm.
can you describe the picture for the jury?
It is the rear driver's side, and I'm focusing on this brake light that had a defect in there.
And what side of the car would you say that?
Drivers.
And the way that you took this picture, you mentioned that you have a system
Mm-hmm.
that you engage in when you take pictures.
Yes.
Based on the way that you've taken pictures, at what point would you say you've taken this picture?
At what point?
Yes, ma'am. You stated that for your own benefit, you start at a certain point on the vehicle when you take the picture. Based on where you know this picture to be, at what point would you have taken
At what point in numbers or
No,
okay,
in your process.
in my process?
So do you jump from the left side to the right side of the vehicle?
No, my process is that I start with the driver's side. I go from the driver's to the rear to the passenger to the front, provided that I can get to all of those sides. If I can't, then I start with the front driver's side, and then I go back to the rear driver's side because it's not enough room for me to take it straight on. Then I come to the back.
I'm going to.
I'm sorry.
Can we approach?
Yes.
I'm sorry. You were describing how you actually take pictures and what your process was. And so in the scheme of your particular process of taking pictures, you were trying to tell us at what point you would have gotten to this point.
When I came to do the defect. So I do overall driver's rear, passenger front. And then if there are defects, then I go back and I do the door, and then I do the defect, the defect, the defect. So I don't know at what point it would have been, but I would have done overall location of the vehicle to show where it was in proximity of the scene. Then I do the driver's rear, passenger front. I do the VIN number, I do a tag number, and VIN if it was stolen. And then I start with where I see a defect to be, and then I make my way inside.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation. In terms of, you were asked by the state about how the defects were made in the vehicle. But your job is, or at that time, was just to take the pictures, correct?
Yes.
So in terms of how the defects came to be inside of the vehicle, you don't know that.
Well, they're not knives. Defect. They didn't come from a knife. So it came from something that leaves a defect in metal.
But in terms of your responsibility at the scene, your responsibility is to take the picture.
Correct.
Redirect?
I'll be very brief. How long have you been photographing crime scenes?
It was for almost 5 years.
5 years. And how many crime scenes have you photographed where you've seen defects?
A lot.
Okay, and how many of those have you seen defects from bullets?
A lot.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that you would know a defect from a bullet versus a punch?
Correct.
A defect from a bullet versus a knife?
Correct.
No further questions.
Anything else? Okay, can this witness be excused?
Yes, you can be excused. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any objection?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
Okay. You're free to go about your business. Thank you so much. Do you guys need a break before another witness, or are you okay? Good? Okay, you guys have another witness ready?
State calls